Hello again, it's Joey John McGuire. I'm in the Beehive in Brixton, about to recite the second of two poems written in the early hours of this morning, as I always do. This one I'm reading off my screen, which I found slightly more difficult than off the written page. But here we go. I'll give it a try. Yeah, the Beehive. Lovely Wetherspoons pub in Brixton. Nice and quiet at the moment, but it does get busy. It's not the biggest Wetherspoons. Anyway, my latest poem, Just Before You Die, about post-traumatic stress disorder. What I once perceived to be a long shadow has again become a permanent darkness. The silence has stiffened like gel, stifling my life as it clings to the ever-crushing walls. If I listen carefully, I can hear the rats scuffling in the sewer below. They run through the cellar beneath my feet. Every now and again, I hear one squeak as it falls over the precipice to what I would presume to be hell. Any light has been eclipsed by the onset, unforgiving thick darkness. I don't need my bifocals here, because there is nothing to see. Touch isn't necessary either. This is not a touchy-feely place, and I dare not to move anyway. I tend to shiver and my teeth chatter, which apart from giving me something to listen to, helps me differentiate between night and day, which may seem odd to those on the outside, but in here, my soul is the only thing I have that I can cling on to. It is here that the passing minutes stretch themselves to last what seems like a lifetime. It's where my imagination runs wild, allows my morbid thoughts to intrude, to play havoc with my shredded nerves. And guess what? I've been here so many times before, it has become routine. My mind keeps running off at tangents, lost in a mangled mess of synapses, causing my head to spin, making my stomach churn so much so I feel I am going to vomit, but never do. The quacks tell me I have been traumatized, for which there is no cure. My prognosis is a lifetime of suffering, plenty of time for me to develop the necessary coping mechanisms, though these are mere sticking plasters, a far cry from the bandages necessary to soak up my painful tears. They call it post-traumatic stress disorder. I call it purgatory, a desolate place where many a day is spent in limbo. It's a lull in life's expectations, the empty void left after a good waterboarding. Though I do have a word of comfort for any unfortunate sufferer, it does leave eventually in a glow of dying embers as the last of your fight ebbs away, no doubt to find another house to feed upon, just before you die. There you go. I've been living with PTSD for a very, very long time, and there are coping mechanisms, and it does fade over the years into those mentioned dying embers.